and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. I'm your most amazing host, Rebecca Felgate, and today we're talking about the top 10 serial killers who had normal jobs. Before we crack into this video, I just want to remind all of you who are new here to subscribe to Most Amazing. We've got Most Amazing videos for you twice a day, and for all of you guys who like our content, do remember to hit that big thumbs up button at the end of the video. Okay. So, serial killers. The media paints serial killers to be savage bringers of evil, and while that may be true, some of them did live normal lives. That's the thing about evil. It isn't always as easy to spot as the media makes it seem. So, here are 10 serial killers who had totally normal jobs. Coming in at number 10, we have Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey was a mixer at the Ambrosia Chocolate Factory. A delicious job for an utterly vile man. Jeffrey Dahmer was a serial killer who raped, murdered, and dismembered 17 men and boys. He was most active between the years 1978 and 1991. He was also guilty of necrophilia and cannibalism, so basically, somebody who used to kill, rape, and eat people was mixing up chocolate bars for other people to eat. He is also known to have taken a mannequin from the branch in Milwaukee where he worked, and why did he want that mannequin? Yep, to practice on. Gross. Coming in at number 9, we have Arthur Shawcross, who was a Watertown public works worker. Arthur Shawcross was known as the Genesee River Killer. He was most active around Rochester in New York, and he killed 14 people, firstly 2 children, then 12 prostitutes. He worked at the Watertown Public Works Department during his first stint of murders in 1972. Then, when he was released from jail and he started killing again in 1988, he worked in food services. Coming in at number 8, we have Dennis Rader, who was an electronics technician. Rader murdered at least 10 people and enjoyed sending letters signing his murder as the BTK killer. BTK stands for bind, torture, and kill. Most of his victims were female, and almost all of the killings took place in Wichita. Aside from killing, Rader had an associate's degree in electronics and a bachelor's degree in administration of justice. He worked installing security alarms, mostly for people that were scared of the BTK murderer. Later, he left to become a dog catcher for the council. Coming in at number 7, we have Doug Clark, who was a mechanic. Doug Clark was one of the 2 Sunset Strip killers in Los Angeles. He, with the help of his accomplice Carol M. Bundy, killed 7 people between June the 1st and August 1980. Other than being a serial killer, Doug worked as a mechanic and then as a boiler at a Yagan soap factory. Although he was fired from the latter for being aggressive, he still managed to hold down a job for a weirdly long time. Coming in at number 6, we have Myra Hindley, who was a junior clerk. The infamous female counterpart behind the Moors murders, Myra Hindley, worked as a clerk at an engineering company in Greater Manchester. She then moved to perform a similar role at Millward's Merchandise Limited, a chemical and oils company. This is where she actually met Ian Brady, her accomplice. Aside from brutally killing 5 children and being a total evil sadist, Hindley was a competent typist. Hindley's criminal counterpart is coming up next at number 5. We have Ian Brady, who worked as a brewer before he worked as a clerk as well at Millward's. The child killer started his career as a tea boy at a shipyard in Govan. He then moved to work at a brewery before teaching himself the skills he needed to become a clerk at Millward's. Again, this is where he met Hindley, so it's pretty creepy. At Millward's, he was considered to be quiet and punctual, but a short-tempered young man. Another notorious British serial killer with a bog-standard job. At number 4, we have Fred West, who is an ice cream van driver. West killed at least 12 people between 1967 and 1987, all of which were young women, and most of which were sexually tortured by him before they were murdered. Aside from being a savage killer, Fred's resume included being an ice cream van driver in Coatbridge. He was then a truck driver for a local abattoir. When he drove the ice cream van, it is said that he actually hit a child on at least one occasion. His later wife Rosemary worked at a bakery, but then he convinced her to work as a prostitute. Coming in at number 3, we have Norman Afzal Simons. He was a grade school teacher. Known as the Station Strangler, Simons is a South African rapist and serial killer who is thought to have taken 22 young male victims between 1986 and 1994. Simons would sodomize his victims, then strangle them them, leaving them to be found in shallow graves. Aside from his killings, Simons was said to be a very intelligent man. He could speak 7 languages, and he taught grade 5 at Alpine Primary School in Beacon Valley, Mitchell's Plains. Coming in at number 2, we have Danko, who was a church organ player. Danko was a Polish serial killer active between 1914 and 1920. In his adulthood, he was a well-liked member of the community who played the church organ. It is thought that he murdered at least 42 people and cannibalized a number of them. He's even thought to have sold human meat as pork at a Polish market. Gross. Finally, coming in at number 1, we have John Wayne Gacy, who was a KFC manager. John Wayne Gacy is one of America's most notorious serial killers. He raped and tortured and murdered at least 33 young men and teenage boys, and then he buried them under his house between 1972 and 1978. Not only was he a manager of 3 Chicago KFC restaurants, he also appeared at children's parties as a clown called Pogo. He was also a member of his local United States Junior Chamber. Who would have known that this guy was actually a sick, sadistic serial killer? So that was 10 serial killers who had normal jobs. What a really harrowing list for you. But make sure you subscribe to Most Amazing Top 10, where we have a whole breadth of content. If you like this video, if you found it interesting, make sure you give it a good thumbs up, share it with a friend, and say subscribe for more Most Amazing videos. Thanks guys for watching to the end of this list. If you found it interesting, why not check out our top 10 most evil people to have ever lived, and our top 10 people who have lived out insane prison sentences. I'll see you next time.